So we reached day 4 of the Let It Go challenge, and today I wanted to talk about accepting the past and moving on, and the past, present, and future, and that trinity, how they form a trinity together, and how do we know if we've accepted the past or not? So with that being said, I have this picture here that I found that talks about the past, the present, and the future, and I thought it was really good. It says, if you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. I really like that one because our present moment, what I found is you're your most peaceful when you're just living in the moment, because there's nothing we can do about our past. There's nothing we can do about our futures to a certain extent. Nothing we can do right now about our future. So it's just better to breathe, take in the present moment, and do what we can do right now. All right, so how do we know if you've accepted the past? And I think that we know that the only way to really be sure is if you learn from it without reliving it. And you can't change the past anyway, so there's no sense in reliving it, you know? I'm somebody who is, I don't want to say haunted by the past, but I do, I've struggled a lot with the past. And that, over the years I've learned and I've reflected on what the past, present, and future actually means for us as humans. And it's really a perception thing. You really have to understand time and what the past and present and future mean to you. So you can't change the past. And I think you know for sure if you've accepted it and learned from it is if you quit, if you lose the desire to want to look back. Because once you've looked back and have seen all that you need to see, or maybe you've looked back so many times and you just finally realize, no matter how many times I look back, it doesn't change. And there's nothing good for me in the past. That's how you know that you've moved on. When you literally lose the want, lose the need, and even desire to look back into the past, because there's nothing there for you. The future is way better to look forward to. So that is the past, present, and future. But I also had this that I wanted to read you guys too. I wrote this a long time ago on Word, and let's see here. I wrote this document about the past, present, and future. So this is my opinion on the past, present, and future. This is how I understand it and what helps me move on. So I have the past, and I have a little rewind symbol. The past consists of things that have already happened, things that are considered history. People like to revisit here a lot, but honestly, there's nothing you can do to change it. However, there's a lot it can do to you to change you. The key is not to ever regret it, but instead learn and grow from it so that you can aim for a better present and future. And that's exactly what I think about the past. I think the past is supposed to happen just to teach us things, not for us to keep revisiting it and missing the past because it's gone. And then I also had something on the present, past, present, and future, Trinity. So the present is what's happening now. It's the exact moment that you decide to truly focus. That's called being present. The only real thing you have immediate control over is the present. When you live in the moment of life, you can experience total peace. It's the past and the future that can cause feelings of anxiety. The only place where you can do anything about anything is the present. So that's where I aim to live. Living in the present moment. Like right now, I'm recording this video. It doesn't matter what I did yesterday or what tomorrow brings because I'm right here right now. So that's where I want to be. And then I have the future with the fast forward button. And I said the future is what's about to happen and what lies ahead in your journey. I believe that you can choose to change your future if you take control of your present. And then eventually you will wind up with a past that you have created for yourself carefully and that is easy to look back on. So that is what I wrote. I'm not sure the date of that, but it was a while ago, and I just thought it would be perfect to share today too, because it fit right in with what we're talking about. So that is my Braylon definition of the past, present, and future. I think it has a lot to do with moving on and accepting, because honestly, The reason why it's so hard to let go and to move on is because we are hanging on to a life that happened before, or we are focusing on how things used to be rather than how things are getting ready to be or how they are now. And that is self destruction, to say the least. It's basically suicide because, I mean, it's a trap, is what I'm trying to say. The sooner we let go of our past and embrace our present and look forward to the future, the sooner we can get on with life and actually live the lives that we deserve. So, it has a lot to do with the past, present, and future, guys. We have to understand the past and wind up being okay with our present and look forward to the future. As long as we can keep telling ourselves that, I think that we can move forward easier. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright. So I have another trinity that I wanted to focus on today, and that is self-love, self-worth, and self-independence. And what that creates for us to move on better also. So let's see here. Self-love. What is self-love? Well, I wrote that I think self-love is taking the love that you give others or want from others and giving it to yourself. Love begins with you. Do you love yourself? And I think that is like a really intense question. I wonder if we ask ourselves, I mean, I do. I'm not sure if a lot of people ask themselves that. It's not a question I ask very much anymore because I know the answer is yes now, even though it's a struggling thing. But I do realize and remember times in my life where I did struggle with self-love, and I hardly even contemplated the idea. I guess I didn't even know that you should love yourself. Of course, there was always those people saying, you gotta love yourself first before anyone else can love you. And that is very true. I actually am proof that it's true, because the thing is, the way that we love ourselves or the love that we show ourselves is going to be a reflection of the love that we invite from other people. So if we're not kind to ourselves, and if we don't respect ourselves and think that we're worth anything, we're going to attract people that feel that same way about us, and it's not good. I've been with a lot of people who didn't love me for who I was and who didn't love me for the right reasons, and it showed, and it is not a fun lifestyle to live. So I think self-love is a huge part of moving on, because if you love yourself, you quit looking for love in other people, and you're just okay, with the love. If you truly love yourself, you're okay with the love you're giving yourself. And it's a beautiful thing. So do you love yourself? Very deep question. It definitely stirs up a lot, and even in me, but it's so important, you guys. It is so important to love ourselves, because we're all we have, we're the only us's. Like, I'm the only Braylon and you're the only you. So you have to be careful with original copies like that, if you know what I mean. So with self-love comes along with self-worth. Do you know your own worth? Do you know what you bring to the table as an individual? And what do you let define and determine your worth? So the thing with that is, only you define your worth. Only I can define my worth. Your worth is something you have to discover on your own. And I think we have such a hard time with that because we live these lives, and the majority of life is lived by trying to, or I guess seeing our worth in very silly things. Like, I've seen situations, and even me, where maybe a girl gets broken up with or cheated on, and for some crazy reason, she thinks that's because of her. Or maybe it's something I'm doing, like, why do people keep cheating on me? But all of that changes once you decide to see that it's other people. Everything people do is a reflection of their own selves. So if someone's mean and nasty to you and disrespectful and keeps hurting you, there's something wrong with them. I mean, as humans, we're all fucked up, and we all have problems inside of us that maybe only we know about and only we're struggling with. And the more we hide it, the more it comes out secretly at people we really don't mean it to. So I think self-worth is a huge thing. We have to know what we're worth on our own, and we have to know that only we define that. If someone breaks up with you, or someone fires you, or someone unfriends you on Facebook and doesn't want anything to do with you, or they're judging you, it's a reflection on their own self. And if you know your own worth, then it'll just roll off your shoulders, quite literally. You won't, maybe you won't like the situation, you won't like being cheated on, but it's so much better to not blame yourself for the horrible things that happen to us in life. Maybe we can get to a point where when these bad things happen, we learn and grow and actually develop even a more higher sense of self-worth. That would be great. It's very important to know what we're worth and what we bring to the table. You know, I don't know how many people know that or how many people think about stuff like that, but it's very important to know. That way you know what you are on your own. And that brings me to self-independence. I think self-independence is being able to stand on your own and survive on your own without leaning on anyone or anything. And how much time do you spend by yourself? That's another question to ask yourself. Are you afraid to be alone? Because I know that I used to be a person like that, but at the same time, I'm somebody who needs alone time because I'm very sensitive, and being around a lot of people, like going out and big, I don't party much. I barely like going to like Walmart or any store because I just feel intensity. You know, it's like I can hear people's thoughts or something. It's real, like crazy. So I like being alone so that everything can just be still for a moment. Like right now, you know, like when I record these videos, I like to be alone so that I can focus and be who I truly am and not worry about critics or judgment or anything like that. So I think being alone is so, 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 so important. Alone time is a great opportunity to, you know, like self-reflect and self-evaluate. Self-evaluation is very important so that you know who you are. And when I'm alone, sometimes I chill, I lay in my bed, listen to music. I write a lot when I'm alone about anything on my mind. Writing is a good opportunity to self-reflect and self-evaluate your life and what you want and what you've learned and how you've grown. It's just amazing. It's amazing to embrace your own self and think of your own self as your own best friend, you know, instead of trying to find what you want in other people. Back to the self-love thing. You know, we look so much for the love that we want in other people when really the love that we're looking for in other people is a hidden disguise of the love that we're supposed to give ourselves. And the moment you do give it to yourself is the moment you're going to attract somebody in your life that can give you love too. The right kind of love, real love. But yeah, that is a good question to ask ourselves. Are we afraid to be alone? Because a lot stems from being afraid to be alone. Sometimes when people are afraid to be alone, we look for the wrong company or we keep bad company around us, which is really dangerous to our well-being. We might not know it. People go years and years and years and maybe their entire lives with living this kind of lifestyle. And it can be dangerous depending on who you are and how you're affected by things. I'm deeply affected. I'm very, very deep. So I'm very careful about the company I keep around me. And the point of self-independence, guys, you know, being able to rely on yourself, being able to hold your own self up is really important because honestly, you have to ask yourself, can you count on you? You're supposed to be able to. We are our greatest assets to ourselves. You're all you need. I'm all I need. You're all that you need. And we came into this world alone, guys. You know, unless you're a twin, you know, I know there's like the whole loophole with that, but at the end of the day, we do have our own souls. Like, we live and breathe on our own. And it's crazy because we get caught up in these life situations where it can get confusing and seem like we need other people more than ourselves because of what they do for us. You know, people show us love and show us kindness in ways where we're like, wow, you know, like, and we attach onto that. There's that whole attachment thing again. And then we wind up thinking that we need that when really it's just supposed to teach us. You know, we love people and we allow people to love us so that they can teach us that we are worth it. But you have to be careful there because everything that you're learning from other people outside of you can be learned from right inside of you, and it's safer to learn things from your own self because I don't know about you, but I haven't really hurt myself that much. I've been hurt, well, you know, you can definitely hurt yourself, but I think sometimes we're our own worst enemies, and that's a whole different story. But I've been hurt by outside forces and outside people, outside situations, way more than I can ever hurt myself. I love myself. I'm kind to myself. I understand myself. And for those of us who have struggled with that, because it's not perfect, it's not easy to do, but when we do struggle with things like that, I think it gets very easy for us to rely on other people, and then it gets even scarier. If this person stops loving me, I'm nothing. And that's just not true. That's why it's important to begin at home, inside of our own hearts, with love, independence, and self-worth. As long as you have those three things, you're basically okay on your own and in a relationship with your own self. And that's what the whole love yourself before you love someone else thing. That's attracting to other people when you love yourself and understand your worth, and when you're just okay on your own. I mean, the right kind of people are attracted to that. The right kind of people are going to want that in their lives. We don't want people, well, maybe some of us do, but it's not good. It's dangerous to be with people who don't understand who they are, because they can take it out on you. People who don't know who they are, people who don't love themselves or know their own worth, they're confused. And it's nothing to mess around with or to make fun of. It's not a laughing joke or anything like that. It's just serious and it's deep. And I'm not sure if the majority of our society understands that we've had a very poisonous environment and world to grow up in. I mean, this whole planet, I love this planet. Earth is super nice and I appreciate my life, but I do also see the dangers that are here on this planet, and how society has been poisonous and toxic with social order, and we just get taught these things from birth, and there's so much hatred out there. So it just makes it that much more serious and important for us to stand up, and even stand up alone and voice these things, how important it is for us to love ourselves. There's no reason why we shouldn't love ourselves, you know. I feel like a lot of us hate ourselves, and the world has made us hate ourselves. The people in the world, our jobs, our friends, our peers, our teachers. You have those few good people, you know, who spark something in you and show you that you're someone, and that you're important, you know. And that's the kind of person that I am. I wish that I could touch every single human being on this planet. That's what I aim to do. Touch them and show them that light that's still inside of them. The light that the world has just tried to dim, you know. I take it very seriously. And it really hurts me, honestly, to know that the majority of my fellow brothers and sisters of the human race are just being defeated by our own selves. We're beating our own selves up. But that is why I do projects like this, so that we can talk about these things, and maybe something that I've said or something that comes up gets you thinking like, do I love myself? Am I okay alone? And it's good for us to think about those types of things. You know, that's kind of what self-evaluation is, and I self-evaluate a lot. That's how we understand who we are, because we definitely aren't born. It's something that, I mean, we're not born knowing who we are. I think it takes a lifetime for us to kind of transform into the people that we see ourselves being, you know? Life is weird. The more you try to understand it, the crazier it seems. But I think that's about it for today, guys. I just wanted to talk about self-love, self-worth. I wanted to talk about the past, the present, and the future, because I think those things are really important when it comes to this whole let it go thing. Something to keep in mind. But I wanted to end with saying that we're better off than the things we're letting go of, guys. We're better than them, and we're better without them. And the only way to know that for sure is to let it go, move on, and see. You always wind up with a better life afterwards. And it's an eye-opener for sure. But there's only one way to find out, and that's actually having the strength and power and the mindset to want better things for yourself. We all deserve better. Well, I think that's about it. Tomorrow, we're halfway done. Tomorrow's the halfway day, and let's see, we're gonna be talking about some spiritual things tomorrow. Like the different activities, I guess, that we can do to let things go. So we will see about that. But I do think that's it, guys. I think so. Ooh. Well, I do thank everybody for watching. Today was very deep to me because, I don't know, I personalize things like self-love, self-worth. I mean, it's things that I've had to learn. But, I don't know. You have to let me know what you guys think about today and what you thought, I guess. And I guess we will meet tomorrow and talk more about this let it go thing, alright? I hope you guys are having a good day. Thank you for watching today.